didn't shut down last week
Oh, okay.
where I had to go to the iPad.
You got what put in?
We switched over to fiber
Oh, okay.
where it's in the ground and all of that good stuff.
Ah, that's good.
Yeah. So my Mac held on. I had to go to the iPad.
Wait a minute. Let me turn
Oh,
this
okay.
down.
Where it's in the ground and all of that good stuff.
Ah, that's good. Heard the whole conversation.
Hey, Devin. Hey, Tara. Did you finish, Tara? Tara was trying to knock it out.
Oh, okay.
She was trying to finish today.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, ladies. Hey, ladies. So it's hard to introduce your friend, but hey, Allegra. I've been praying for you. Allegra is in New Orleans. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah. And so, Tara says she finished. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Um, so let me welcome. She said she just finished. Let me welcome. This is my friend, and I'm proud to call her friend, Miss Bailey West. I'm not
Hey,
biased. I'm
everybody.
not going to tell you right now. I might be a little bit biased. Y'all know how when it be people you're close to, you can't help it. But in all honesty, Bailey knows I'm honest when I read something, and so and she know if I really like it, I be hitting her up as I'm reading, and that's exactly what I was doing. You welcome, sweetie. I've been worried about y'all, New Orleans folks, because I have a good friend. Her parents are there, and her mother-in-law. They telling her 10 days, and so this, if you can see my yard. Now I hate to even compare my yard to what they dealing with, but my gardener really gonna lose his because it's bad. It is
Wow.
bad. So I know if we got hit bad, I know they got hit way worse than we did. So I'm definitely praying um, for y'all. So if we don't acknowledge your name, it's because we can't see who you are. But somebody says this is my first read by you, Betty, and I enjoyed it. So
Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
well, let's jump right in there. Hey, Mimi, let's
Hey,
jump
Mimi.
right on in there. I usually ask this question, and it's like redundant for you, but like, how did you get started writing, Miss Bailey?
Yeah.
Oh, first, everybody wish Bailey a happy belated birthday. Her birthday was on Saturday, and
Yes.
I know she had a good time. They surprised her. We kicked it off with a surprise.
Yeah, I was
Um,
so surprised. I was crying.
it was fun though. It was truly fun.
Yeah.
That was our first birthday Zoom. So I was glad that Brian reached out to me and I was able to be a part of it. So
Thank you,
all
babe.
right. How did you get started in writing? Y'all know I already
Um,
know the story, but
right. So I got started writing because I has was a reader, but then it dropped off reading, period. Moved to New York and was riding the subway and needed something to do to occupy my time. So I started reading again and found all of these actual Black authors on Amazon. I was like, wow, I didn't even know this existed, because when you search African American literature on Amazon, they usually give you, interracial IR
mm-hmm,
type.
mm-hmm.
So then I started seeing all these Black love stories. I was like, oh, this is cool. So as I was reading, I just one day had an idea. And I was like, what if this and that? What if this guy this guy was a pastor and he, was married and then he went through all this turmoil? What would that be like? And so I just decided to put it on paper and was just gonna write it for myself. Just wanted to finally finish something because I hit that age in my life where I was trying to figure out what's next, and put it on paper. Then I said, well, I'm gonna release it, but I'm just gonna release it because I'm just doing it because I want to do it. And released, didn't tell nobody, gave myself a pen name, released it, and then it just took off. And that's where I've been since. Hey,
Hey Terry, hey Monique. Yes, you took off. I mean, I remember being in a. I read it. I read it. I'm not gonna say I read it first, but I read it and I didn't say nothing. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't say. I just wanted to see. I was like, this is a good ass book. And
Mm-hmm.
then I started looking for more, and I was like, oh, I know you lying. This is not her first novel. I know you lying. Then I was in this particular group, and they started talking about it, and I was like, and, and the more they started talking, oh, really? What is that? And everybody would say the same thing. She gonna have you crying. She gonna have you crying. She gonna have you. She gonna be mad. You gonna be sad, and then you're gonna come out on the other end, and
Right.
So yes, and I remember. Listen, y'all, I invited Bailey to Indie Love because she had one book, but I didn't care that she had one book. She thought I was joking. She thought
Mm-hmm.
it was a joke. She told me later, she's like, I didn't believe it. I thought you was, playing with me. And I'm like,
Yeah.
playing?
Mm-hmm.
No, no, not at
Mm-hmm.
all.
Yeah.
Yes, Devin said boo-hooing. So let's jump right into Loving Man. This is so different for you. Like,
It is.
and I loved it though. I mean, I love everything else, but I don't know if it's the pandemic, but all these little small town stories are like just so they loving. It's not a whole lot of controversy. I mean, it's some, but I mean, I don't know, like I said, I don't know what it is, but it's like I'm drawn to those small town stories with like y'all think I'm lying. I'm gonna find me one for the holidays. If I don't do nothing but just go drive up for the day and look at this the Christmas, whatever. But I love this small town feel. So what made you go that direction?
Um, I don't know what made me go that direction exactly. I had started telling myself that I wanted to do I had done a lot of books in St. Louis because that's where I'm from. But I
Hmm.
felt like my time in St. Louis had run out. Like I'm pretty much over it for the most part. And I was like, so what can I do? Where can I put these people? But then I wanted it to be, I wanted to write about a place that was ours, that we own the banks, the hospitals, the churches, the schools, the everything. And I know that
Okay.
place don't exist. So I just made it up.
Do you find that when you did you find making it up that you had more, of course you did, more control over
Right.
every aspect of it?
Yes.
Um, the young lady I had on last week, Tay Monet, she said the same thing. She was like, I was able to control all of it. I didn't have to worry about, oh, was 75 in this town and all of that minor
Right.
stuff. So
Right.
like I said, I'm loving these small towns. So I have notes every doggone way. I mean, and I have them. So um for the longest I would say, Bailey, what you working on? A whole lot of nothing.
Yep.
A whole lot of nothing. And then
Mhm.
all of a sudden I'm reading this and I'm like, she was a whole lot. What you mean a whole lot of nothing? You was working on a whole lot of something because it was a lot. It wasn't a lot, but then it was a lot.
Mhm.
So I loved and I had no clue. I don't think none of us had no clue when it was Loving Man. That man was actually the baby's name.
The baby's
And
name,
for this
right?
baby, for this to be an infant, this baby had so much. I mean, he had so much play in the story. Like everybody, like I was like, oh, I want to just rub his little cheeks and these fat little legs. I want to see who this baby is. I want to love on this baby. So, what made you go into make golly, a baby, a nanny? They both are chefs, and she's running from being. I hope y'all read it if you, because I'm about to tell all kind of
Yeah.
stuff. Um, yes, that first scene, like I'm gonna go all the way back. I've got it open. Y'all don't know how excited I am that I'm on my Mac and it ain't gonna drop. Yes, the whole at the airport. Um, I didn't know where you was going with this. I was like, where is she going with this?
Mhm.
All of that. I knew at some point, of course, I knew somebody was gonna walk up and say, "Let me help you with this baby." I didn't know it was gonna jump off that fast, you know. Like that was instant chemistry right there. Instant.
Yeah.
And you don't write fast loves.
No, no, I don't. They usually grow on each other. I dreamt about these characters. I'm gonna say dream because I think I was asleep, but I may not have been. But literally, I saw that whole airplane scene, the baby mama dying, all of that. I saw that play out in my mind.
Okay.
And so it was different for me because I knew that they were going to like each other instantly. So then for me as Bailey, I'm trying to slow it down, you know, because usually I like to like build up, but it was how they came to me. So it's how I wrote them, but they were different because I kept saying like I'm trying to pull back from them just liking each other so fast because it almost don't seem real, you know, or plausible. But the chemistry was just there. So
This nut, I'm not getting ready to play with Devin tonight.
it
I'm not
becomes
playing with her.
right. Exactly.
Not gonna play with her today.
So when you say she can go buy her some land in Sable Falls when she retired, exactly. Yes, that would be
Yes, I
so
look.
nice.
I'm telling you, like y'all think I'm joking. I'm gonna find me a small town this year. Find me one. And I'm gonna go hang out. Might find me a man up in there. I don't know. I mean, he got to be chocolate, but you know, might find me a man up in there. But um, but I mean, yes, there was the chemistry was there, but it took them time to get. They were attracted to each other, but they respected each other's space. She respected. I'm gonna call her Eveline. She respected Eveline to a degree
Yes,
because I wanted to reach through the book and slap that heifer
I
straight out the
know.
bat. Like, what? I mean, like, for real, girl.
She was a lot. Yeah, she was a lot.
And you gave us just enough of Piper to be like,
I know.
like you always messing with somebody's heart with it.
Yeah.
I was like, dang, let me go back to Blue. Maybe that's what made me want to go back to Blues Beauty. Like, dang, just enough for us to have some compassion. And I've been teaching empathy all week, so empathy for
Mm-hmm.
him. And even though they weren't together, you just made him an all around cool dude. Like, okay, we had this one night, well, it wasn't a one night stand. They were together all week. They was kicking
Right.
all
They
week.
they got it in all week.
Yeah, got it in all week, had this baby, and it's not drama. And she seemed like she was about her business. For her to be the one to say, oh, we can have a blood test, just like basically gonna ease your mind right off the bat. And I get the feeling that she knew that it was definitely him, but that was for
Him.
his benefit. And
Right.
I'm like, damn, she don't have no real dialogue, no nothing. But she is a pivotal, of course, because she had the baby. But she's a pivotal character in the book.
Yeah.
Why she had to die though?
That's the only way I could get them together. I didn't know how else to. That's how it came to me. She was dead when they came to me. Like
Oh
she had
Jesus!
no, she had no nothing except she was just an upstanding chick that was about her business that knew that she was just kicking it with this dude.
Mm-hmm.
And she was at that point in her life where she found out she was pregnant. It's like I'm gonna keep it. So if you want to, you can, and if you don't want to, you don't have to. But I'm gonna keep it. And he just ended up being that person that was like, nah, I'm gonna take care of what's mine, So
I thought it was really interesting because a lot of women, it's in the news. They wow. I'm telling you, they wow. I'm gonna show Allegra's first, and then yeah, because we're gonna talk about that heifer some more. We're gonna talk about her some more.
yes,
But then Tara,
she was dead when she came to me, so she didn't get a whole lot of play.
but on a serious note, what she died from has been in the news a lot.
Yeah,
Um, a lot of people don't know that that's an occurring thing that's happening more and more and more. It probably has happened for years, and we just didn't know about it.
correct.
I think it was brought to my attention when, yes, Allegra, that's right. They're dying from that. It was brought to my attention from, I'm sorry, y'all. That's Ayana throwing in her 2 cents, saying she's in New Orleans too. She said, "Tell Bailey." I'm gonna start turning my stuff off. No. She said, "Tell Bailey I really enjoyed the book. I was prepared to discuss. I can't get a signal to get on." She got crying emojis. Allegra gonna represent for us. She already. I'm gonna tell her she already is.
That's cool.
Um. So, God, what is her name? The judge. She lives here. At least she was here in Georgia. Judge Hatchett.
Mm-hmm.
Judge Hatchett's daughter-in-law died from that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, her husband. They took. Well, I don't know if he. Anyway, her husband and the doctors basically did the same thing. And it's like you got to listen. You have to make your doctors listen to you,
Right.
regardless of what it is.
Right.
Um, my doctor will walk in, and I appreciate the fact that he'll look at my chart. He's ready to come in and talk. But when I fell the other month, he walked in just immediately talking about so your knees and you get older, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
my knee is hurt because I fell. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that. Come in.
Right. Read
Hello,
the
Miss
chart
Mark.
first.
Let's have a
Exactly.
conversation.
Exactly.
So we have to, as women, black women, men, we have to speak up for ourselves. I wish, well, she was DOA on arrival, but I was gonna say I wish she had made him take her back, you know, earlier than what she did.
But
But I
remember,
get
you
it.
called the doctor, and the doctor said it's just
It's
normal.
normal.
When I had my second son, I gave birth to him naturally and went back to my room after I gave birth to him and thought that my stomach felt funny. And I told the nurse, I was like, I think I might be bleeding too much, and she was
Mm-hmm.
no, you okay? You know that's normal after giving birth, and plus I had been induced. I got up to go to the bathroom and left a trail of blood from the bathroom, from the bed to the toilet, complete blood in the toilet. Barely made it back to the bed and called her back in. I was like, I think I'm losing too much blood. I think I'm bleeding
Mm-hmm.
too much. And then she panicked, and every doctor on the maternity ward floor came in to take care of me, and they had to give me an emergency D&C because they had left behind some afterbirth. They didn't get it all out.
Mm.
So I was literally bleeding to death. Had I not woke up, I would have died. I remember they were pushing my stomach to get the blood out because my stomach was just completely full of blood. So they was pushing. Every time that she would push, it would just gush blood.
Mm.
And one time she pushed on my stomach, and I saw literally the whole room go black and white. I knew I was gonna die. Like I
Wow.
felt the life leaving my body. And at the same time, they brought my baby in. So the nurse panicking, trying to get the baby back out. They all panicking. I mean, thank God for survival, but it's a true thing. Like they don't
Mm-hmm.
listen to us. They don't. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why I added
Mm-hmm.
that because I know, not because of me, because I survived, but really to honor those women who, they didn't make it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I lost my whole. I was gonna say something when you were saying that. Oh, how old is your son? How long ago was that?
Oh, that was 25 years ago. 25 years ago.
See, and they still not listening like they should. They
Yep.
still not listening like they should.
Oh,
Mimi is saying she's working with an organization that addresses maternal mortality. Georgia has the worst rates in the U.S. Why
yeah.
am I not surprised? Georgia has the worst rates on a lot of stuff. I mean, a lot of stuff.
And that don't make any sense. It really don't. When all they have to do is just listen, but they don't because they so busy doing other stuff. So
Right, right. I don't know if you remember when my book club and we had you call in. I really didn't even know you then. I had you call in and we discussed, and I said I felt like we were wasting your time because I said give us a few minutes. Somebody's having a meltdown,
yes.
and she had lost her baby, but almost the same thing. She had a miscarriage. They didn't get all of, and so she was telling us that as we were getting ready to call you and
Mm-hmm.
talk about it, but and I couldn't because she was telling us all of what she went through,
Right.
even though she had a miscarriage, it was still the same thing. Something's not right. Something's not right. She couldn't, you know, and she had to go back in. And we're talking like weeks that she was walking around with stuff that they didn't finish taking care of when she had her miscarriage.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like you said, we really women. I'm not sure who that is that's in it, but it is scary. We really have to advocate for ourselves and for
We
other
do.
Black women.
Yeah, we do.
One of the things I love about your writing is you always put in conscious stuff that we have to think about, like that. Somebody else, we wouldn't even we know about it, but we don't consciously think about it. For me, when I read stuff, I'm reading a novel, and you put in something like that, I feel like I always learn something as well. So I love it when artists add something, make it give it depth. It feels like real reality, although we're escaping reality. At least it wasn't pandemic stuff, but it's a reality. Well,
Right,
no,
right.
it's a reality of what happens in real life. So Alexander was, am I saying that right? Well, first of all, his name is Alexander,
Alexander, yeah, but his
but
nickname.
then we just call him Xander.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Was a twin, which I thought was
Mm-hmm.
so cute. Was a twin. Um, what do I have here? Oh, I got all of this stuff. Okay, was a twin. I love that you made her from LA. Let's talk about BG for a hot second. I'm telling you, I'm gonna be all over the place. I don't go in no kind of order. I just go, I look down at my notes and I be like, Let's talk about BG for a second. You know, I envisioned this. Even though you said she was a sexologist, it wasn't until the description. It was like, yes, BG was a G.
He was.
Y'all, I got to that part and I hit belly up and was like, oh, she's a what did I say? I forgot what I said. I said she's sassy, sassy. I was like, okay, I see you, Miss West. I see
Mhm.
you. She wasn't your typical grandmother.
No, no, and I didn't want her to be typical because I mean, why? Why make her typical? Why be typical? She was she's a sexologist, so she probably felt like she had to keep herself together. She was a fox, and I just wanted her to
Right.
be.
Maybe talking about Dr. Ruth. No, Dr. Ruth a little old. Yeah.
No,
BG was sexy. Like,
we do sexy. She got long gray locks and a body and arms, and she's just gorgeous. And so that lent to the whole maybe she'll just the conversation that she had with Xander, because you looking at her, you wouldn't think that it would go that way, but then she just had to go ahead and lay down the law too, and let you know who she was for real.
right, right. She said Yana's on the phone listening to this. She said, "Tell y'all, BG is in her 60s, stilettos and all."
Yes.
Yes, there
Yeah,
are
I
some
don't know
grandmothers like that.
if you guys have ever been or were in LA. When I was in LA, I have an aunt she just turned 75. But so when we were in LA, she probably was 72, 73, and she
Hmm.
always wears stilettos.
Oh, always.
So yeah, she shout at church in her stilettos. So so that's that's the kind of women that I kind of see around me too. Just women that just stay strong and bad as long as they can.
No, BG wasn't playing with him. I mean,
Nah.
just as sweet as she wanted to be, but like, I will. I thought I was going. Oh, y'all already know. I be trying to curb my language. Yana not here to keep me in line. But that whole line, I thought, get it, okay, get it. I will. I don't have any silver foxes like that in my family, like that.
Yeah.
No, I don't have. I can count. I probably do. They're not in my. When you say your immediate family, your Allegra said that's her favorite scene. I will fuck you up. Yes,
Yeah, she said it. Yeah, she meant it too. I have a
I know.
story of my great grandmother who had a on my mother's side, and she had a daughter whose boyfriend was beating her up, and she called him over to the house. And he was explaining, she make me mad, and she don't know how to act. Next thing he knew, my great grandmother, had a cast iron skillet upside that man's head, and she tried to beat him to death. Like, she's like, "Don't you ever put your hands on my people." He ain't
Okay.
no more after that. So, I
Okay.
think it's important for us, like we were talking about with the with the maternal death and things like that, we have to be each other's advocates.
Mm-hmm.
We got to stand
Mm-hmm.
up for each other because, Papa was gone. So who else would look out for Angel? So BG just said, let me go ahead and lay down the law, let him know that she ain't no orphan.
Right.
Me
Oh,
and my cousins will come for you. So
my mama didn't play that mess either. And I will admit that I provoked a lot of what I had went through, just not wanting to accept that it was over and that he was messing with somebody else. And I would go up to that man's job because the chick worked there too, telling my dirt child, I don't act like this no more. I would go up to that job and me and my friends, and we would just walk around that girl's department just to harass her. Just being, but I was young and I'm talking about 19, 20. What, of course, that's what you do.
That is what you do. Yeah, that's what you do.
And I would make her so uncomfortable. And he worked security, so he would see us come on the camera. Anyway, we out in the parking lot fighting one day. Literally in the parking lot fighting. And he called the house to apologize. And my mother snatched the phone up. I mean, he called it late, because I used to take, you take the phone in your room and grab it. Nah, she wasn't gonna be none of that night. And she let him have it. Like, don't you ever in your life. We brought you in our fold and the whole, let him have it. Now, she ain't a diva, but my mama don't play when it comes to me or her child.
Yeah, I think it's
So
important. I'm the same with my kids. Like I tell my daughters all the time, somebody mistreat you, I will burn a whole city down. Like I just don't have the energy for it. You're not gonna come for my kids. So
no, mine either. He a boy. And
yeah.
he a man. I should say a boy. He's a grown man, but mine either. And I feel like that way about Lauren. If she called me today and was like, so and so and so and so popped off, I'm trying to find a flight right now to get out of here as fast. I don't play about, because she's like my sister. I don't play about that.
No.
Um, but let me jump back. At first I didn't know if I was gonna like Tatum and Leona.
Leona.
Yeah, I didn't know if I was gonna like them. When they came at her about the nanny job, I just was like, hey, wait a minute.
Yeah.
But then you got into more details about what her career was and then how she had traveled. So I could now, after that, I could really understand. Oh, they like, wait a minute, what are you doing with yourself? Yeah, what are you doing with yourself? But yeah, I didn't think I was gonna like them at first.
Yeah. At first they weren't going to play a very pivotal role in the story, but then I knew that she needed the support in the town too. She needed the friends, so that's why they really kind of stuck around. And Leona, Leona is the more supportive one. It was Tatum that was going in, and calling her nanny names and stuff like that. But then they both end up coming around, but I think they just wanted, what was best for her because they knew that she was super talented.
A chocolatier. I don't even like chocolate like that, but she was making me want some sweets, and I was like, I don't even eat chocolate like that. Let me go find me some M&Ms. Oh, let me go find my candy corn. Let me tell y'all, Bailey was throwing shots today. Like, seriously throwing shots at me about my candy corn. Man.
Don't nobody like no candy. I don't understand how y'all eat candy corn. You know what candy corn remind me of? Those little candy, like wax candies that would have the juice in it, and you have to chew the wax to get the juice out and spit out the wax. That candy corn is like that wax that was around those.
Candy corn is melted butter and sugar.
It is
Devin Taylor, I'll kick you out. You better watch it. Watch it. But wait, this is the thing. I only eat it this time of year. Like, it's not like something of course you could, but it's not like I buy bags and be stashing bags. I'm telling you, that is the bag that I posted, 2 weeks ago? And it's still full. I just be wanting a handful just to taste. And it is, I ain't gonna lie, it's not nasty to me, but too much of that on your stomach, and I'd be like, ooh, my stomach hurt. Like, to me, it's like it's nothing but eating straight sugar and butter, but I'm not gonna put sugar and butter in my mouth. That's what it's like to me. I could eat maybe a little more than one piece, but I could eat a handful, not even a full handful. I'm telling you, that bag is gonna end up in the trash before the week Probably it's been sitting on the counter. I just
Yeah.
be wanting to taste. It's not like
No.
get
I
you, but
don't
she was
even.
she had, and I was busy doing something. So when I looked, the post had been up for a minute. And I was like, no, she didn't, and then tagged me in it through shots. Oh, okay, y'all a bunch of haters, some straight up haters. Devin, you skating on thin ice. She gonna be sitting on the sidelines.
She said
Not
eating crayon. That's
cooking.
exactly what it is, like eating crayon. Candy corn. Candy corn for me goes into that same category with black licorice, circus peanuts, butterscotch, mounds bars, all that.
Yeah, I don't like none of that. I don't like stuff with coconut. I don't like any of that. But no, none of that. Mm-mm.
She said wax.
Wax it. You about right. That's how it feels like. Well, so wax, but it's just like, ugh. There's no way I would eat that whole. But you know how you walk past into something, you're like, oh, let me grab this. But anyway, but yeah, I just wanted to tell you I barely was throwing shots. It's supposed to be my friend. I was like, I'll be doggone. Okay, so the milk bank, that's another thing. Like, I heard about the milk bank maybe once on the news, and it was white women talking about the milk bank. So I thought that was awesome that you put that like eating peeps are nasty. You right.
Peeps are nasty. Oh, peeps are nasty. But yeah, the milk bank. So I met a lady who told me about the milk bank because we were having a meeting and she needed to leave the meeting to go and pump because she was storing the milk so she could give it to the milk bank. And I was like, I had never heard of that, but I think it's such a wonderful thing.
Yes.
That women can do. You know, we can do so much, but to be able to produce enough milk, not only for your child, but then to share with a child whose mother can't produce.
Yeah, because I've seen my cousins who have little babies end up throwing milk out, or even women I work with saying I got a pump, but I'm end up having to throw this out because I have so much in my freezer, already. So I think that's yes, lots of informational tidbits, lots of them. I thought that was like I said, I had heard it. I don't know, nightly news one time, and it was mostly white women talking about doing it. So I thought that was great that you had put that in there. Yeah, I got them notes done there too. We were talking about sexy grandmothers. I don't think I get the impression that Mrs. His mother, Mrs. Northcott, she wasn't no joke either.
No, she wasn't. She didn't have a whole lot to say, but she was, you knew kind of her personality from when
she went off on it.
When she went crazy on the ship when she found out about Piper dying, but then also her showmanship because she likes to throw big parties and stuff like that. I thought that it was funny when she said, well, it's the least you could do since you didn't let me do nothing when Piper died, just kind of playing on his emotions. So that kind of showed her personality. So yeah.
And when it got me when she said, now this is where she reminded me of my mother. I wasn't there for the birth, and then I wasn't there for the funeral. These people, what do these people think of us?
Yeah,
and that's my mother.
Parents,
you got these people out here thinking I'm so and so. It's like ain't nobody thinking about you like that. No, I swear, my mother's voice went in my head like that's Fran. That's Fran worried about what somebody, but I get it. And I get him too. Like, he knew his parents.
Yeah.
Knew his. I want a session with we're gonna see BG again. Are we gonna see BG again?
We're gonna see BG again. Somebody told me that I should write a novella about BG, but BG is clear into her 60s. I don't know if I would do her story justice because I don't know how 60-plus-year-olds think. I have her doing stuff that 30-year-olds do. So
yeah, see, women's you right. She did say that. His mother did say that she was gonna be front and center. At first, she was like she was acting a little standoffish, but then the more them girls was talking, and she was like, okay. Yeah. And BG said something about, I help people rediscover, people that's been married forever rediscover they sex. Boo, can I have one too?
Right.
It made me say all grandmothers are not big mamas who cook Sunday dinners. You right about that?
No, they're not.
They're not. Yeah, I live with one, and she's not. She will, but she's not. She's not one of them that's gonna cook and All of that kind of stuff. No, no.
Allegra said BG about to get it on with Pastor. No. Well, that
No.
Pastor, he's married. So he mentioned he and his wife when he was talking about before he christened the baby, but BG will be back and BG will have a love interest, but it won't be the pastor. But it just he was attracted to her, but I'm sure she shut that down pretty quick. I don't know, we'll see. Maybe be a scandal in the church.
No, it's already because it's already something between him and Tatum. Is it him and Tatum that have a past, or was it
No, I'm
Leona?
talking about the older pastor. Yes, Leona.
Oh, the older pastor. Oh, I
Yeah.
thought she was talking about the
Yeah.
young pastor.
No, I'm talking about the older pastor.
You talking about the older?
Leona and Pastor Is have some history, yeah.
Okay, and so I had to ask Bailey, y'all, like Pastor Is, I was like, he is very familiar to me, and he is from Blues Beauty. So if you read Blues Beauty, I mean, he don't have a big, but he's in there just enough for you, like, he's familiar.
Yeah, he performed their wedding ceremony. He tried to flirt with Zanetta, and he was the first person that they told they were getting married. So he was in and out. He was around in there a little bit. He's their friend for sure.
Okay, so Garrett.
I know Garrett.
But you didn't get I couldn't get an age range on Garrett. So it's like who in my mind I'd be trying to pair folks up.
Yeah, Garrett would be in his mid-30s.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he got some potential in some of these single women
Garrett will be
lingering around.
Yeah, I like the idea of, when you talk about sustainability and building a town, you got to have a farmer. You got to have your food coming from somewhere. And my thought with writing this, when I talked about creating this Black euphoria to a certain extent, this Black economy, I wanted to make sure that the Black dollar was circulating a couple of times in the community before it left, which is why I created Garrett, because so they getting their food from a Black farmer, then they put it into a Black restaurant, selling it to Black people, so the money is kind of circling. I just think like that. That's my idea.
I know.
I would love for it
I know. There's I'm going to tell y'all, we be having these conversations, especially when we're together. And I had never been to St. Louis before, and Bailey took me in this area in St. Louis and was showing me how it's kind of it's decapitated pretty much, and how she just had this vision in her head about like if she could just buy up this whole neighborhood, and what she would do with this neighborhood and turn it around. And we just riding around, just talking. Her husband just driving us, and we just talking. And she's just saying, and I'm sitting in the back, and I'm like listening. I don't know if you know how intently I was listening, because I wasn't saying a whole lot, but I could envision everything that you were saying. And then to see the neighborhood, it was like, and hear you talking about it. So I could relate to when you was talking, I could relate to your channel a little bit more than.
Yeah. That's what I dream. That's my dream, and that's why I, support Black businesses, and I support my fellow authors because I want to see us, come up.
Yeah. So okay, so when we got rid of,
you said you thought BG was gonna get with past the new pastor?
Yes, that's what I thought she was talking about.
No. Until you found out that the new pastor had a history with Leona, so I guess.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Like I thought that's what she was trying to say. Because when you said he's married, that's why I was rolling my eyes and kind of like, I didn't know he was married. The older pastor,
Reverend Folsom, that's his name. The Reverend.
Okay. I got two things here. So let's get rid of Emmeline. Did you name her Emmeline so that she would be close to Eveline?
Yeah. But you know what? I named her Emmeline before I came up with Eveline. That's just the name I came up with because I was just trying to come up with something I would never use again or want to use again.
Okay, so she was just bold from Jump Street.
She sure
and I don't know why he got back with her. She wasn't going he knew in the back of his mind she's not going to accept this baby. Like she's semi accepted the baby because it's a break baby, but you ready to throw this a baby. Any mother in their right mind does not. No mother that puts their baby in childcare at 6 weeks, that is not their desire to
Right.
do.
Right.
I don't care. I don't care what profession you're in. You could be an executive. That's still not your desire to put your child care. And that there are some wonderful child cares, there are some wonderful daycares. But that is a means. That's a necessity that you have to do. So
Correct.
for her to be like, "Oh, this baby's gonna go in daycare," it's a Bi. Are you for girl? If
Right.
you don't go somewhere and sit down, like I don't like you already.
Right.
Yes, Devin, whole you right, whole raggedy ass. You are exactly right. Exactly right. Like
Yeah.
you just well, his mama said, "Oh, she ain't gonna like her at all. She ain't gonna like that at all." And it's
Yeah.
funny. Everybody is telling you she ain't the one. She, she just ain't it. But she was coming for Angel, and I was like, "Oh, Angel, you right, cussing riding, just right in your head.
Yeah.
Hold your job, hold your peace, baby, hold your peace."
Yeah. Yeah, she probably could have if she knew that she had job security, but when you think about it, at that point, she still didn't really know Xander, and so she wasn't positive as to what their interaction was. Because it's some men that can be led around, with some cooch. So you might that after sex glow is a big deal. No telling what she could have said. So she wasn't sure, so she had to
And
keep
then
it.
she wanted to be seen. You just wanted that girl to know that you spent the night and you slept with him.
Right.
You wanted to you not the woman of this house, but like he said, I'm laughing at Allegra talking about her old country.
Yeah.
um, you knew he had people coming in and out, the maid, the chef. Girl, like have a little decorum. And this is not your house.
Yeah.
This is you a visitor.
Right.
I ain't gonna, you a visitor, and it's not just you and him. It'd be different if it's just you and him in the
Right.
house. But I swear I ain't like her. I ain't like
Yeah.
her. You did a good job because I sure didn't like that evil
Good.
heifer.
She was a lot. Yeah, she was a lot.
Do you find when you writing people that have that are like that you end up not liking them either?
Yeah, I don't like them either, but it's hard for me to it's hard to pull the pettiness to put in the book. It's like it's so because I'm so used to writing characters that have redeeming qualities, and she didn't really have any.
None at all.
She was kind of hard to write actually because usually I can write a character, and even though they may be crummy, you can be like, oh, but I feel sorry because, but with her, I didn't want her to have redeeming qualities necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
So she was a little hard to write, but yeah, I didn't like her either. I didn't like her.
Yeah, nobody. You look up and down the timeline. Nobody liked her.
Mm-mm.
I'm saying, why did sis think she was doing coming in the kitchen in the lingerie? I know, right? Girl, go sit down.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's fast forward. You know, I be jumping all over the place because I wrote it. I got it down here. Cook dinner with me, and she said that's the sexiest thing. And I was thinking, so if some aunt said to me, let's go read tonight before we go to sleep. That would be the sexiest thing
Yeah.
to me. Like, I swear that is my prayer. I want a man that loves to read. Now, he ain't got to read the girly, the romance stuff. But I have friends that say their husbands be like, so tell me about what you're reading. And they have a full-fledged, he don't want to read it, but he want to know about it and be like, for real? I did date somebody that was like, so tell me about it. And I thought, you just trying to make conversation. He could have been the one that chased him off, but
Yeah.
but I love that line. Come cook dinner with me.
Yeah.
I think that
my husband, he's not a reader really, but he'll read my books, and he's read every single one. And it takes him a second to get through it, sometimes because it's romance, but
right.
he reads them and he comments on it and we have conversations about it, so It could be not necessarily like you were saying that you thought that maybe he wants to just have conversation. Sometimes they just want to try to be interested in what you're interested in.
I'm not giving up my.
Yeah, exactly.
I love Allegra.
Yes.
Yes. Well, y'all know that's those of you don't watch know that is my prayer that I find someone that is into books that will support everything I'm doing in this
Oh, he will. He may
industry.
not even necessarily be into books, but he'll be so into you that people will think he into books. That's how that works. So he
Mm-hmm.
coming.
Hey, Marshall.
Hey, somebody. I was just reading something.
Let me go back.
Nah, then had the nerve to DM Angel with that bogus with her Instagram. So look, I couldn't figure out how to make that petty enough. I had to reach out to some people who I knew maybe in the past life was petty to ask for some hashtags because I was like, I don't even know how to make this petty enough for her.
You hit me up and asked me about a petty, and I didn't know what you was talking about. Oh, did I come up with one?
Yeah, you came up with one.
You gotta give me a minute to think, huh? And it's in there too. Mm-hmm. I don't be remembering, but yeah.
Typing. I said, now who do I know that's petty or can be petty or used to be petty?
I can be. I know I can be.
You send me something right back. I was like, see,
I know I
gotta know who to ask.
I'm telling you, I got a coworker, and I'll say something, and she'll text me later. I mean, right while I'm doing it, be like, "All right, Petty Betty," it'd be out of our group chat text and be like, "All right, Petty Betty, you're like, I'll do." We were doing a gift for somebody's birthday, and I said, "Oh, Cray," I sent you, check your Cash App. I sent you my money, and she like, you ain't even have to say nothing. You just trying to make everybody else. Yes, them heifers all need to kick in. That's exactly. You right. You right.
Call. Monique said, Bailey, where did you get the idea for so many different dishes they prepared?
Yes.
So some of those dishes. So I love food. And part of my travels, like I talked about in the book, is to find new food when I go different places. I love good food. But I binge watched cooking shows. Like as I was typing, it would just be cooking shows on in the background. And so I picked out some of the more interesting things that they talked about and then looked up recipes for this. During the time of the research for this book, I found a couple of chefs restaurants down in the South, one in North Carolina and one in Savannah that I want to go visit just based off, documentaries and stuff that I watched while writing this book. But yeah, just my love of food, good food. I love trying new stuff and binge watching cooking shows.
We'll find a restaurant when we travel, and Bailey travels way more than, but the times we've traveled, we have one restaurant we all walked in, a little suspect, but that food was so doggone good.
Yeah. And the one we stood in line for like an hour and a half in the sun.
Yes, that one. But then when me, you, and Melba was in Texas, and we was in Texas. And we found that restaurant. We looked it up, and of course it sounded great when we looked it up, but then we pulled in the parking lot, we was like, okay, but then we went in.
It was so good.
That food was so freaking good.
Good, yes. I forgot about
we tried to find it. We tried to find it. We was there again this last time. We couldn't find it. Ended up at Maggiano's. We couldn't even remember the name of it.
No, we was hungry by the time we got to Maggiano's. So.
Yeah, we just like, let's just find something to eat so we can go to bed. So, she said she started thinking Tara said she started thinking you had a background. You know what? I was like, no, I know her pretty well, but I didn't know she, you was throwing, and then the candy, the chocolatier, all of that. Like you did a lot of research for that.
I did. I went to a chocolate shop when I was on vacation in the Bahamas and was so impressed by all of the chocolate that they had and how pretty it was. And I was like, I should write a story about somebody that do this. I forgot about it until I was cleaning up and found the brochure for that chocolate place. And I was like, yeah, because that chocolate.
Okay.
I mean, we just stood outside the door, like down like 6 or 7 of those chocolates. It was so delicious. And then, so on the same line of chocolate, so I have a good friend. We had started watching Lovecraft Country, a friend that he and I went to church together years ago. So it's a group of us, and we were watching Lovecraft Country, and we would talk about it. So as a gift to the girls in the group, because there's 4 girls and 1 guy, the guy decided to send all of us a box of chocolates that was themed off Lovecraft Country. And he had no clue that I was writing about
that you was writing. Okay.
Yeah, I
okay.
cried. I said, that's confirmation. See how that worked. I love that so much.
I had to laugh at Black people's drinks, and it brought something back to memory. Because I was like that too. What is Black people's drinks? And I remember I was gonna, you know how you do potlucks or whatever. And I was like, oh, now I wasn't raised in Detroit, but my mother was, and she loves Fanta. Fanta is not Fanta. Faygo. Faygo is big in Detroit, Michigan, right? And so there's certain places we can find it here. You ain't gonna find it everywhere, but certain, I'm talking about like Dollar General, Family Dollar, we find it. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna go get some, because I like it. I'm gonna go get some Faygo. And she was like, don't nobody want that. They want Pepsi and Coke and I was like, oh. So when I said Black people's drinks, and I had to laugh because what you call it, the Stars and Stripes drink, the one that be in 99 and the Dollar Tree. Yeah. Yes, Tara, Faygo, Red Pop. Where you live, Tara? Yes, some Red Pop. That's what they call it, Red Pop. Yes. I'm gonna tell hubby he can't send for my food. He can't take me. Y'all are hilarious. Like I said, food is important. You can feel the love in a good meal. You can. Well-fed people are happy. You know what? And I love to cook. I will cook Sunday dinner before my mother does at this point now. But there are times when I was like, oh, I'm gonna go all out today.
Right.
I think the other Sunday I fried chicken. I had macaroni and cheese. I had sweet potatoes. I had some greens. I did greens. Fresh greens. I got up. She was like, where are you going? I said, I went to the store. I'm going to cook dinner today. And so I went, all out. I was getting ready to do the cornbread until she said, I'm ready to eat. And I was like, okay, well, I won't fix the cornbread. But then there's other times when it's like, oh, I'm just going to throw something together. But when I'm in those moods, I'm like Allegra, I'm taking my time and I'm really focused on the meal. Right. And I can see the two of them really, the more we may see of them, like really, really, I love that she was being nosy, but wasn't being nosy, because she came on talking about, I'm not being nosy, but I saw this on your desk. And how she fed into him. I think that's what we love so much about it, is that they fed into each other. Right. But she really fed into him and was encouraging him with his ethos. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, ethos.
Ethos. With his ethos idea. Whereas homegirl, Eveline, her name, was like, you don't need to do that. You need to stay in corporate, come out. She didn't even want him to be I felt like she didn't even want him to be a chef. Like,
right.
Not that it was, but maybe, I don't know. I didn't get that she thought it was beneath him, but I don't want to say it like that. But when a person is a chef, that means that they really enjoy cooking. Oh, yeah. So to come out of the kitchen to be in the office, that's a jump. Yeah. Somebody had to be pushing you away from what you love to do to go that route. Right. So I love that Angel was really feeding into him. Mm-hmm. It was a 4-course. Yeah, that meal that they cooked, girl. Yes.
Yes. Did you mention Angel's dad and what was up with her and mom's relationship? Angel's mother traveled trying to be a singer, so she just wasn't around. She didn't really provide her any stability. That's why she ended up with Papa and BG. And she never mentioned her dad. She didn't know who her dad was. He wasn't in the picture.
Mm-mm. Yeah, you made Papa a focal point. I thought that was so sweet when
Mm-hmm.
they acknowledged that they had feelings for each other, and the sadness that she had with his the anniversary. No, his birthday. I'm stuck. His birthday or the anniversary of his. No, it's his birthday
His
that was coming
birthday.
up, right? His
Uh-huh.
birthday,
Mm-hmm.
and how he was like, "This they ain't even really together," and he did that for her. Like I said, I just love that they fed into each other
Yeah.
and knew each other's needs so early on. That's
Yeah.
soulmate stuff.
Yeah, it is. It is soulmate stuff, and that's what they are. And I don't even necessarily believe in soulmates, but they were they definitely are soulmates. And one of his strong suits is planning, kind of like his mama. They talked about his mama planning big over the top stuff, but he was a planner just
Hmm.
like her. He was a dreamer. Remember, he
Hmm.
said it, so he could, come up with a concept, and he just needed people to help him carry it out. So it was nothing for him to put that together because he cared for her. I know it was, yeah, that I wrote that and teared up a little when I wrote it. I was like, oh Lord, ain't nobody cried necessarily, but I thought that was so sweet that they all came together because
Yes,
really
I
ruined
mean,
her life.
yeah, I thought I did too. I was like, wow, wow, and even had man in his cute little white outfit. I loved it.
He was there too. Allegra says, sow into your man's seed and let him sow into yours. True happiness. Yep.
Yep, a
Yeah.
100%,
Yeah.
a
Men,
100%.
yeah, they need to be built up, and even if it's not necessarily the truth all the time, just tell them that they like that a lot.
Yes, they do. The young ones and the old ones, because I
All of
find
them.
myself
All of them. Yep.
right building this one up the other day. I think I'm gonna do so and so. You do that,
Yeah.
but I don't want to leave you with. Don't worry about me. You young. I lived my life. Go live yours. You want to move? When you want? You want to go look at some apartments? When you want to go? You
Mm-hmm.
got. When you want to go? Let's
Yep.
go.
Yep.
Encourage him to do all of it. So ethos, is that really what that means, or did you create that?
That's what they
Um,
mean.
the spirit of culture and community.
Mm-hmm.
Where'd you find that?
Looking up what words mean, and I came up with it, and I thought it was perfect. Like it fit the
Hmm.
what my whole story mission was. So I liked it, so I just used it.
Yeah, Marshall, I did too. That's what I told her in the beginning. We didn't know what loving man was until um I swear, Bailey shared with me the book cover, and I still didn't have a clue. But I had no clue what. It's funny because people be like, "You be knowing." No, sometimes I don't. I don't. Sometimes I don't know. They'll just drop nuggets to me, and I just be like she said, "What do you think of it?" And I said, "That's cute. That's different than what." And she was nervous about it. She was.
Yeah,
She was like, "Cause I've never used, bodies and da 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 da." And I was like, "But it looks good." So then I was intrigued, like, but my slow ass still didn't have a clue that man was that baby's name.
mm-hmm.
Not a hint of a clue. Oh, the hot air balloon. Man, my anxiety would have had me ready to lose my mind.
Yeah,
It would have been a sweet gesture, but I would have been like,
shaking
nah.
in your boots, shaking in your boots. Yeah,
Man, you would have had to do a whole lot of convincing to get me. And I'm not even scared of heights, but it's just something about a hot air balloon. Oh no, 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 no. The cover was good. It was
yeah.
bomb.
Yeah, I was worried about it because I don't necessarily use images of humans on my covers. It's usually abstract, So I was nervous about it because I was like, "Ooh, I don't know," but it worked out.
You right. You right. Absolutely.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I was a little concerned about how long it took to get to the sex because I know that sometimes people almost a skim read till they get to the sex, but I had to tell the story, so I
And
think.
then you have some people who don't like books that start off with sex right at the beginning. You
Yeah.
have some that don't,
Right.
and that did not bother me because, um, like I said, I felt you felt their chemistry, so you knew they were going to get there.
Yeah.
Um, it wasn't like watching a Hallmark movie where they don't fall in love until the last 5 minutes of the movie,
Right.
and then
Right.
it's going on. It wasn't like that. And sometimes we used to look at the Hallmark movies and go, "This shit's so corny."
I know.
Even when
I know y'all done had
like,
sex by now.
huh?
I said, I'd be like, y'all done had sex by now.
Right? Like, come on now,
Yeah.
come on. So I really like that. But Allegra, he put it on her because she cried.
You cried.
He did. He was doing something right. He had that girl crying. And
She
then when she went to her friends, that was hilarious to me. And they was like, "You cried? What you mean you cried?" That's some true friends right there. Be like, "Wait, I'm lost. Why? Why?" That would be me. Right. I don't understand. I'm having under. Did it hurt? What happened? Did he?
Yeah.
That would be me. That's the yeah. Yeah, that's true, Tara. She said that's the mark of a truly good story. The journey kept me glued to each page. You read fast, girl, because this was yesterday and this morning she was talking about. Y'all think I can finish? And I just laughed. I didn't even comment. I just laughed. Okay, but Tara be getting it in.
Yeah. I wanted her first sexual experience to be memorable, so the
Mm-hmm.
tears. I just wanted him to be really good at it. So it just moved to the tears.
So like I said, what that mouth do? Marsha said she's cried before. So I don't know who this is that said they said wait until you get that D. Right.
Mhm.
If that mouth made you cry,
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Marsha, you said you cried before. That's awesome.
Oh, she said that was my favorite part, Terry, when they whispered you cried. Oh, like the friend in Love Jones. Yes, that's one of my favorite movies, Love
I've
Jones.
never seen Love Jones. I've never seen it.
Now I'm not even gonna pump it up to you because see then you'll bust my bubble time. I didn't like. No, no.
Everybody likes it. I just haven't seen
Because okay, so when it came out, you have to look at the time frame of when it came out. So that's why it's like a cult classic.
it. Mm-hmm.
It was I loved it. I have the DVD. Trust me, I love Jones. So I could watch that. Because there's a lot of stuff that goes on in it. It's a lot of stuff.
I just keep saying I am and I haven't. I don't know why I didn't watch it when it came out, but I didn't. And now as the years have passed, I'm like, it's probably antiquated, but I'm gonna watch it because everybody keep telling me like you almost
Look
a black card if you don't watch it. Right.
Devin is like, you got to be kidding me.
I've never
They're
seen
like,
Love
you've never
Jones.
seen.
Nope. I know it's my dirty secret. Now everybody knows.
So did Corey make Leona cry? Oh.
Corey and Leona, they just friends. They just
You
friends.
had to see it when it was to understand it because now with the way culture is now, I don't know anybody follows. I don't know her name. That chick Angel, and she got a bunch of kids. Her and her husband.
Yeah, that chick Angel.
Yeah, she was saying it's the worst movie ever.
They always her and Kev on stage always down.
And Kev on stage was like, and the other guys that was with it was like, okay, y'all, they about to take her black card. It was a whole thing, and she was serious, and I was like, let me keep scrolling because I kind of like Angel. I don't want to get mad at her. Yes, Jacory is straight. He's straight.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he's straight.
He's not with Leona though at all. Leona got her own thing going on. It's not with Jacory. But which by the name, Josh gave me that name, by the way. She said that was past the ears that made Leona cry. I know it. You know what? They do have a history. And actually, yes, that's who she was talking about when she was talking to them about that part.
Mm-hmm.
And she just didn't know that he was there. She didn't know that she was going to see him. So they both were surprised to see each other. So they'll have a story at some point.
Okay.
Yep.
Trying to think that I know it's gonna be a I always do this thing when I get done, and I'll be laying in my bed at 10 o'clock. Be like, dang it, I didn't say this, and dang it, I didn't think about that. But like I said, I think I got some more notes on here. Oh, Dr. Everett and his wife. I thought that was a real nice touch that he had. I liked his support system of men, and then somebody said it earlier up, and I didn't get to acknowledge it. That um the two chefs from one's from Tay's story and one
Right, one
from
is Tay and one
Danielle's.
is from and one is from Danielle's story. Yeah, and those are two of my most favorite books that they've written. And so using them was a no brainer. I asked for permission, and of course they both said yes. But they added context, to the story and a lot because Black men do need to support each other. So, I thought that was cool. I like both of those guys. I would love to see what that table of men look like. Cause remember when the lady came up and she was like, "Oh yeah, it was a lot of nice looking guys at the table."
Leslie seemed like she a piece of work.
Yes, girl. Yes, she is. She is. I think that she'll be back too, in some form or fashion because I like her. I saw Marshall said, "Can we get a whole story?"
Can we get the whole story on what,
on
Marshall?
what, Marshall?
She want to hear their love story. I don't know. I don't know who she's referring to, or what did we just say? What are you referring to, Marshall?
Terry said she thought Jacory and a twin sister until she was feeling the farmer. Yeah. Yeah.
That's right. She was feeling the farmer, but
Mm-hmm.
she's traveling.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with her because I don't know, but because she lives in another country, so
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how that's gonna work out.
Yeah.
She's just fast. Yeah, Leon.
Oh, Leon and the pastor. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
they gonna have a whole story. I've been brewing Pastor E's story for a long time. I just never had the space to write it. But he coming back. I knew he was gonna have a story when I put him in Blues Beauty. He just his timing is just his timing, so he'll be back.
I'm you know what? I'm excited to see what's next for this whole town. I
Yeah.
promise you I am. Um I ain't gonna say that, but I'll say that later. because yeah, I'll say it later.
Okay. I enjoyed writing it though. I'm trying to think of what else I like the interaction in the kitchen whenever it came into the room and was going to try to tell a story and Xander cut him off because he saw his wife coming in. I like the interaction between those two.
Yeah. I love seeing men have good solid friendships with other men.
Right.
And it ain't just my nigga. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But I just like seeing good solid where men feed into each other. And you do that a lot in your stories anyway. Where you let the men have good solid friendships.
Right.
Yeah, I did too, Marshall. I love the whole setting.
I'm glad.
Of the book. I am too. I'm telling you. I'm gonna be a senior citizen. Find me not an old town, a small town. But then I don't want people all in my business. I don't like folks all in my business either. Pastors are touched by God, and Bailey always throws some wisdom in there. I was trying to find the scene at the church, where the pastors always throw some words of wisdom. And she'll have you crying at the church scene too. You didn't have us crying in this church scene, but what's his name story had us crying. The last Valentine story had us crying at the church scene.
At the church scene, yeah, that was.
Yeah, she always throw in a good word. Yeah, she do.
I try.
She does. Y'all got any more questions? Because I know I'm not gonna have any more. Is Paxton still Bailey Paxton still my husband? Alexander was trying hard. I just told Bailey I need to go. I want to go back and reread Ezekiel's story. I like Paxton, but it's something about Ezekiel with his little young self.
Who fast and you fast? You know, fast people like each other.
She always calling me fast. And I ain't been fast this year. It's been a slow year this year.
Lord, I hear you. I know.
Child. I think I told CCJ when I interviewed her, I had just broke up with somebody before the pandemic. So it's been a slow, right?
I should have held on. Shoot.
At least would have had somebody to talk to, right? But I've been fine. I ain't gonna lie to you. I have been so fine by myself. Maybe that's what I needed, to be by myself, to, all of that good stuff. But I appreciate you coming and chatting with me.
Thank you.
Usually, and we're gonna have to do your group. I don't know what we're gonna do, how you want to do it. We're gonna do a group chat in Bailey's group.
Well, you gotta put some pictures of that. If your husband look like Paxton, you gotta let us see.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, gonna put him in the group. Put him in the group. I gotta see.
I know, right?
Yeah.
All right. All right, y'all. Y'all got some more questions? Throw them in there real quick.
In the coterie.
You can do a group chat or how we normally do it. But we done got in the mood of running our mouth now.
I know.
He's cut his hair since then.
So thank you for having me, and thank you guys for reading. The reception to this book has been so amazing, and I am so blessed, by it. Having so much anxiety about putting, releasing these characters into the world. I'm so glad that you guys received them well. Terry had asked what's next. I'm not sure positive what's next, but I still have to write County and Layla's book, which I have started, but I stopped once the pandemic hit. I didn't finish it yet. And then these characters in this town. So we'll see. I don't know, but something's coming.
I forgot about County and Layla. And I forgot, but I forgot. I mean, I forgot that their story was brewing.
Yeah.
Their story was brewing too. Yeah, that was chemistry there too. So
yeah.
I know. Don't you love that when you come across an author and then you start with their first book and you just follow and you see their growth and their progression? I love that.
Yeah.
And I could always say, I knew you win.
Terry said, thank you, Pastor Bailey West.
I know, right? The inspiration. Who is she?
You know what? I don't know her. But
I've seen her do this, and I like her visuals.
She did a great job. I think that based on my descriptions, that she almost was spot on with who she found. Especially little baby, the little baby with the little ears on the picture. That was adorable. But I think she did a good job. But yeah. So I'm gonna say this one last thing. This book was the first book that I wrote. I've been learning about setting your intentions for the day. And this book was the first book that I wrote where I set an intention. So I woke up and said, today I'm going to XYZ. The book, I'm going to write 1,000 words today. And I set that intention. And from the moment I woke up, and that was my intention for the day, to just get 1,000 words on the paper. And some days I wrote 2,000 words. Some days I wrote 400 words. But because I had the 2,000 word days, the 400 word days wasn't so bad, And so I'm learning that setting your intention for the day and putting it in the atmosphere really does work.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's my word for the evening, y'all.
Somebody said, hi, it's me. Who's me? I don't know who is. We can't see who you are.
Devin said, oh, it's Deja. Oh, you the one that do that. Oh, hi. So you're the one that put the visuals together. They are so amazing.
Oh, who is it? I can't see the name,
Her
but
name
you do
is
it.
Deja.
It does, girl. Like I've seen several, not just from Bailey's book, but several. Deja, you are Aries. Okay.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Like I woke up to it first thing in the morning and I was almost moved to tears. It was so beautiful. Like
I
I
saw,
love
I'm up early. And so I saw it and I was like, I said, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to wait to see. I started to screenshot it and be like, have you seen this? And I was like, no, I'm gonna let her do it. Because sometimes I feel like when we do that, we kill the person's, it's done with good intentions,
Yeah.
but I'd rather you find it first and then say, did you see this?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, it was beautiful. I reposted it everywhere, showed it to people that did. I sent it to my family. Like, this is beautiful. That was beautiful. So I appreciate it.
Monique, I have too. I've read books just from I have too. I've looked at some and been like, okay, all right. But you
Well,
do a great job. And then
yeah,
she
you
just
do an
look. Now
amazing
I feel horrible because you're in my group and I don't even know who you are. I feel horrible.
Yeah, well, you
So,
know now. So thank you so much.
right, yeah,
So thank
okay.
y'all. Thank y'all for talking to me. Thanks for having me, Joss.
You're very welcome. Hold on a second. I ain't got nobody for next week. I do have an idea that I threw out to somebody. No special guest, but I have this idea that I want to talk about most hated villains in Arthur's books. Where you
Oh,
come and share who you're most hated between, like okay, with Sable Falls, we know that Eveline is
yeah.
are somewhat villain, but then there's other authors that have true women
Great
who
villain.
just
Right.
can't, right. So I had this idea about kind of doing a discussion like that. I ain't doing it by myself, but where we would talk about, your most hated villain.
Yeah.
So that's on my agenda, possibly. Anyway, thank you, ladies. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me again as I run my mouth. That's I need to change it from Indie Love to Indie Love runs her mouth. Y'all have a great evening, a great weekend. I'm praying for those of you who were in the wake of Zeta in New Orleans, in between, and here in Atlanta and all over, because I think it was still moving. Some of it was going to turn into sleet and snow, ice. It was moving in another, like past you, but going up
Yeah.
towards DC,
It
Boston
is.
area.
Yeah, up new in the upper New York area is supposed to be like snow or something. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's going to turn into. It was going to be cold. Yeah. Hopefully that's the end of it, y'all. We don't need nothing else in 2020. Nothing, nothing, nothing else, nothing else. All right, ladies, you have a good evening. I'm gonna end this here. Ooh. She said snow is a bad word.